Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Hooke Audio founder Anthony Mattana. Thank you for joining us, Anthony.
Thank you so much for having me.
And Hooke is spelled with an E on it, Hooke. Tell us a little background about the company, Anthony.
Yeah, so the background of the company kind of starts with the background of myself and how I sort of came about doing it. I got my start as a Broadway theatrical sound designer in New York. I was a theatrical sound designer for about 5 or 6 years. And as the nature is of being a sound designer, my job was to tell stories through sound and to get not only my audiences, but my collaborators to understand, the power and the effect that great sound has in storytelling. And I kind of felt like I was hitting a bit of a wall trying to get people to care about sound, to understand how they could get better sound in a world where, we have the ability to adjust the focus on our camera phone, adjust the brightness, zoom, do all these things. When it comes to controlling our microphone levels, we don't have a lot of control. We just kind of hit record. And for me, as a background as a creator, I felt, I think we care more about visuals because we have that control at our consumer level devices, which makes us demand better visuals. Why can't we do that for sound? If I can make audio microphones that make it as easy to adjust or gain or get better sound as it is that little green square on the box of your camera, maybe I can get people to care more about sound. And that's what sort of launched me into the mission of creating pro-grade, more prosumer approach microphones that are accessible to everyone on any device, on any budget, and through any platform. And that's where we sort of went the route of creating pro-grade Bluetooth microphones, which is a little bit of a new frontier, but we're excited to sort of support these products that have pro-grade sound with no dropouts, to sort of bring a new way of sound recording to today's sort of 21st century creator.
So what is different about what you're doing in comparison to what we're seeing all over TV these days with Zoom interviews and people wearing the AirPods and other using other kinds of equipment? What's different here?
Totally. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because it can get a little confusing when you start seeing all these different types of mics and wireless and all these things. So I'm glad you brought up the Zoom. That's a good application because it seems the most relevant to what people are doing right now. There's sort of two ways people are using microphones on their Zoom calls or their communications right now. One of which are utilizing the microphones that are built into their Bluetooth headphones, whether that's Bose, whether that's Shure, whether that's AirPods, any of those devices. And those headphones with the microphones built in there are utilizing a type of codec that every hands-free calling device uses, which is called the hands-free profile. It's a lower quality profile. It's sort of a low sample rate. It's just meant to kind of get the voice across. And it's sort of, packed into this small package of these headphones with all these other components, which if you sort of fight the physics of it, the smaller the microphone, sort of the lower the quality sound already on the hands-free calling profile. So there's a lot in there. It can get a pretty good, user experience across because it's a wireless connectivity and it's good, but the quality might lack a little. Then the other option is using some type of desktop wired USB or XLR connector microphone, like say a Blue microphone, the Yeti, AKG makes a USB microphone, and those can be nice too because they're plugged in and they sit on your desk. What we're doing is a bit different. We are using a Bluetooth microphone. We have the Bluetooth microphone in the lob. But to record, we have developed a proprietary pro-grade Bluetooth recording codec that, not to get technical without just saying it records pro-grade sound, it's able to capture 24-bit 48K wave files over Bluetooth to mobile devices and computers at almost no latency. And that's for recording. Now, on the calling side, we are utilizing the same hands-free calling profile that some of these other, Bluetooth headsets do for these calls. But what makes it different when you focus specifically on everything being about a microphone, you get a little more real estate to make that sound a lot better. Hooke Lav is equipped with multiple digital MEMS microphones that are optimized and designed to give you the clearest, cleanest, quietest stream of audio when you're having calls like this. So it can block out background noise, and it can utilize a certain microphone based upon the sensitivity of your recording environment. So on the communication side, it comes into our hardware. On the recording side, it comes into play our proprietary Bluetooth recording codec.
And you're on Kickstarter now with the Hooke Lav. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's correct. So we launched our first product from our company on Kickstarter. When I was still sort of a theatrical sound designer and thought, can I get this to work? Can people care about sound? Exactly 6 years ago, actually, it's our 6-year anniversary launching the second product. 6 years ago, we launched our first product, which was called the Hooke Verse. And the Hooke Verse was a pair of Bluetooth headphones with very specially designed microphones in each of the earbuds, which was designed to capture 360 binaural sound. Binaural sound is sound captured identically to the way you hear the world. So you could wear the Verse, go to a concert or a show, record it with your phone wirelessly, listen back to that recording with a pair of headphones, and feel completely immersed in the environment, sort of transporting your head into the recordist and hearing it like they did in the moment. Kind of a crazy way of recording, crazy sort of approach to a bit of a niche product, but a really interesting one. And I thought, can we get people to care about this? We did that completely on our own, completely bootstrapped, raised over $160,000 through that on Kickstarter, shipped that product in 2017, have been able to, maintain and keep in touch with an incredible backer community and customers that found us through Kickstarter who have now been, fans and supporter of ours since the existence of Hooke Audio. And so for us, launching a new product on Kickstarter was sort of a no-brainer for us. It's not so much in the typical Kickstarter fashion where, we have an idea and we need to get it all made. It's like, no, the Hooke Lav is already made, but in a lot of ways, Kickstarter is our go-to-market. That's how we like to launch our products because that's where our community is. It allows me to directly communicate with my customers, which is what I love to do. I'm a very sort of hands-on as the founder and love to communicate with all the sound enthusiasts because I'm one. That's where my background is. That's what I do. So it's a great way to engage with the community. It's a great way to get the word out there on the product. And it's just a great way, and I feel, to launch a product, even if if you do have the funding, it's not about that. It's about getting the word out. So that's why we like launching there.
And it's been a successful campaign I can see so far. So give us a description of the Hooke Lav. The design is interesting. It also can record internally. Tell me about it. Definitely.
So when we approached the design of the Lav, we wanted it to not look like any other lavalier microphone on the market. We sort of saw the issues that ailed a lot of people using lavalier microphones, and we tried to remedy a lot of that. When you think of a lavalier microphone, your standard you think of is this sort of mic capsule with this clip that clips onto your lapel with a cable that runs behind your shirt and goes into a back pocket with a big belt pack that then you have to interface with. And then you have to transmit that audio to another box that receives it. It's just very clunky. It's very elaborate. There's too much tech there. There's too much hardware. And for me, I wanted something that would be easily utilized by a lot of people maybe who don't have a microphone before but have been sort of thrusted into needing one. Yoga instructors, fitness teachers, online teachers, people making podcasts or YouTube videos for the first time. We wanted something self-contained. We wanted something easy to use. We wanted something with not a lot of extra parts that could break. So we put it all into one device, and that's what you see in the Lav. It is a fully self-contained Bluetooth lavalier microphone. And what's really cool about it is that we have designed it in a way that when you clip it on, the entire enclosure of the product sits behind your clothing. You don't even see it. So all you see on the exterior is this really beautiful, really sort of well-designed matte black brushed steel clip. That's this sort of robust, really nice designed clip that clips on the outside of the clothing that almost sort of looks like a ring. So we really wanted to it's a fine line between making the product completely, hidden, but at the same time being a brand and wanting people to, know what it is when someone is wearing it. So that's the sort of nice equilibrium we found on the design of the product. The LED indicator is on the back of the product, so when it's behind your clothing, it doesn't come up on camera shots, and that was very specifically designed. And then once, so that is sort of the structure of the product and how we approach it. What's inside of it is sort of even more exciting and revolutionary and different than other lavalier microphones. As you were just mentioning about internal storage, that's something we're really excited about with this. With the internal storage on the lav, you're able to do two really cool and big features, one of which is do standalone recording, which we call island mode. So a lot of these microphones, you need to connect to another device, you need to connect to a phone, you need to connect to a computer. In island mode, you wouldn't even have to. You'd be able to put it into this mode, start to record, and with the internal storage, you're going to get over 24 hours of internal recording without connecting to any other device. But the other really, really important thing about the internal storage, and this is something that only I've been able to learn from making Bluetooth microphones now longer than anyone in the industry, over 6 years, is that you might have the greatest Bluetooth mic on the market, the best firmware, the most up-to-date software on your phone, all your batteries are charged and everything. But the minute you enter into an area of sort of heavy Bluetooth traffic, you're going to get dropouts. You're going to get this sort of dropout. And there's not a lot of ways without, having the big systems completely update the codecs to sort of remedy that. So what we've developed is this really amazing process that when you begin a recording with the lav to, say, your phone, it is streaming the audio from the lav to the phone just like it would normally in a sort of Bluetooth mic scenario. But it's also recording a duplicate file internally on the device, backing it up in real time. So when you end the recording, it's burning these two audio files together, one that is lossless right from the board and the other one that was streamed over the video, so that the result when you listen back is a video with completely dropout-free audio because it was sort of merged from both of those audio files. So it's a way for us to secure a clean, clear, dropout-free recording every time, no matter what, without any additional setup or configuration or anything like that.
And with a second unit, you add a lot of flexibility in a couple of different ways. Tell me about it.
Definitely. The first flexibility or option is called duet mode. And this is something that's really cool, too. A lot of people kind of think when they have to pair something to the phone, that's the only thing they can pair over Bluetooth. Well, if you configure it a certain way, you can actually, pair multiple devices over Bluetooth to your phone. The duet mode allows you to pair two Hooke lavs to a singular phone, and with using the Hooke app, stream audio and record audio from both of those lavs to a singular device, which is perfect for podcasts, interviews, things like that. You can do it simply to one device. The other really interesting feature that comes from utilizing two lavs is what we call receiver mode. Receiver mode is really cool because think of the fact you want to use a DSLR camera, or you want to use a GoPro, or you're a musician and you have Pro Tools and you have an audio interface. All of those devices don't have Bluetooth, and they don't have the Bluetooth support to basically support this pro-grade recording codec that we've created. But in receiver mode, you can send audio wirelessly from one lav to the other. And each lav is equipped with a headphone jack, which is also a line-out jack. So you send audio wirelessly from, say, lav transmitter, the one, over to the lav receiver. And then from a cable with the receiver lav, you can then output to the external microphone on a camera or a GoPro or a computer. So you have this wireless link between the lavs, but you've gone into this sort of transmitter receiver so that you can send that audio to whatever device you may need to. The other sort of important feature on that is this is what allows you to use the lav wirelessly on any app, any live streaming app, anything like that on your phone. Again, Facebook Live and Instagram Live, they don't support this proprietary codec that we've made. Not yet, at least. That's my dream, to get them to be able to support this. But with receiver mode, when something is physically plugged into the phone, the operating system knows that when these apps launch, they say, oh, an external mic has been plugged in, we're going to use that. So in receiver mode, you can plug the receiver lav into the lightning jack or the USB-C jack on your phone. Yes, it'll sort of sit like a little dongle, basically, but it will override the built-in mic then, and then you can use it on any app you desire.
Terrific. Very cool. And you can also use two mics for doing interviews, right? Having two people using the Hooke
Yes.
Lav.
And that's sort of the duet mode that I was mentioning before. The duet mode allows you to stream at the same time. What's also cool is, you could get 4 lavs, put them into island mode, and do a whole 4-channel recording, and then just bring them over to your computer or your audio your audio system afterwards.
Cool stuff. So tell us a little bit more about how people can get in on the deal that you've got out there now.
Yeah, definitely. So we just launched on Kickstarter this week, and the incentive of sort of backing on Kickstarter is being able to get the product at a severe discount. Right now, as we're speaking today, there is a specific backing tier going on Kickstarter that allows you to get a 1-pack, a 2-pack, or even a 4-pack up to 40% off our retail value. We plan to be shipping in the beginning of next year. But right now, you can sort of back the project on Kickstarter, get it at a discounted price, and be one of the first people to receive them when we start shipping next year.
Terrific. So best thing to do would be to do a search on Kickstarter for the Hooke Lav, Hooke.
Yeah. Yes. And you can also go to our website, which is hookeaudio.com. The main homepage has got a link right there that you can go to the Kickstarter. Also good to go to the website because you can learn a little bit more about the company and our first product, the Hooke Verse.
Terrific. Hooke Audio, Hooke audio.com. Anthony Mattana, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure.
Cooking with the power of the sun. Hi, I'm Fred Fishkin, here to tell you about the latest innovation from my friend Patrick Sherwin and his great team at GoSun Stove. The GoSun Fusion has arrived using the company's tried and true reflectors and a solar vacuum tube to get you cooking without the mess of charcoal, heavy propane tanks, or smoke. A really bright idea. And with an optional solar panel and battery storage and the ability to plug in at home or on the road, you really can use the GoSun Fusion to cook anytime and anywhere, day or night, rain or shine. I love what Patrick and his team are doing, and so will you. Want to learn more? Head to gosun.co to check out all of the company's products and innovations, and use the code Techstination to save 10%. That's gosun.co.